Hi, it's Mel. I'm back with video 4 of 64. We're officially a month in. That feels crazy to say. I'm once again filming from my bed on Sunday morning as I edit the video because I keep forgetting to do intros and outros. So here is a big ramble from me while I do my makeup about the drama school audition process, mainly the 3 schools that I was offered a place to. So I'm going to my friend's graduation party tonight, and I thought that while I was doing my hair and my makeup, I could chat a little bit about the audition process, just because it's something I think I want to get out of my brain before I forget. Oh, sorry, I've got Scream 2 on in the background, so let me just turn that down. So yeah, my friend Stephanie's graduating, and I thought this is the perfect time to get all the information out of my brain regarding auditions. The kind of first round to majority of these places are self-tapes, so I sent a few of them and I got 4 recalls. I got Conservatoire, Glasgow Conservatoire, Birmingham Conservatoire, Liverpool Institute of Performing Arts, and E15. So Royal Conservatoire didn't go great. Obviously didn't get in, didn't go further than the second round. And yeah, I just didn't get the best vibes from there. I think they really know what they want, what they're looking for, and I wasn't it, and that's fine. It was probably a blessing in disguise. But Liverpool was the first audition I did, the first in-person audition I did, and it was just such good vibes right from the start for me. I mean, you instantly meet the other people that you're going to be kind of spending that day with, auditioning with. You get all the information, obviously, for most of the places in advance, so I knew I had to prepare a Shakespeare monologue and a contemporary monologue. I think I did the same 2 for Liverpool second round than I did the first round, but I'm not 100% sure. I think because I did so many self-tapes and in person, I've kind of lost track, but I did a mixture of Amy from Breathing Corpses was one of my contemporaries, and Beatrice from Much Ado About Nothing was one of my Shakespeare. I think that was the one that I sent originally, the first ones that I sent, and we worked on them with lecturers from uni. And when I say we, I'm talking about Jen, who is away to Essex now to do drama school. She was actually with me at the LIPA audition, so we genuinely have come through this whole process together, and it's been lovely. And I think that was something that was really good about the auditions, where we were a little bit more relaxed. It was like, oh, we do this in uni every day anyway, so there's no pressure. We could prepare, we could split room fees. It really just made the whole process a lot easier. And I do not regret doing it with her, and I would highly, highly recommend, if you have someone that you can kind of split hotel fees and split the stress, and yeah. But I'm not here to bang on about Jen. I could bang on about Jen forever, but I'm not here to do that. Yeah, so Liverpool, great vibes. The guy, I think he was the head of the course at that point. He was actually Scottish, and it was really nice. It was quite chill. He was very didn't really give too much away, so you didn't really know how he felt. But I really enjoyed the LIPA audition, and I was so close to accepting that school for a while. And I think it's because they're quite heavily music orientated. So you kind of spent the first half of the day with the rest of the group. Luckily, we were quite lucky. There was only about 5 of us, maybe 6 of us. That's not always the case. Sometimes there can be more than 10, and it's quite hard to be seen, and people are quite it's more competitive, I think. So yeah, we were quite lucky. Everyone was so nice. We all got along. We were all quite open and honest, and we were all roughly the same ages, between kind of early 20s to early 30s, I think. You did like little scenes with each other. He gave you like a kind of script that you would have a couple of minutes to look over, and then you were supposed to sight read it. And you did that in front of each other, and you know, I imagine if there was a lot more of you it could be quite daunting, but I found it quite encouraging. And the individual bit at the end, we were all sat outside the room, so again we had each other to bounce off of, and then when it was your turn you would go in individually. And again, quite lucky. I imagine if there's more than 5 of you, that could take quite a long time. But for us it was quite rapid. And when I went in for the individual piece, as I say, the kind of group pieces were really casual, and really we did some warm-ups, and we did some sight reading, and we did some scenes together, and we did some scenes in front of each other. And then the individual monologues in the afternoon, we had a little break, and then we came back and it was the individual monologues. And all he did was get me, he didn't redirect my contemporary. I think he only redirected one, which he said, he did kind of warn us of that, we're only going to do one. Can't even remember. I think it was my Beatrice one he redirected. No, I think it was, I really can't remember now. I should have done this sooner. But yeah, all he said was, can you try and, you know, redo this as though you're on film and there's a close-up, so it's just your face, it's just your, don't use your body, don't use your, you can't use your body, you can't use your hands, you can't, it's just your face, just your voice, just your kind of minimalism acting skills. And so I did that. Didn't think I did it great, but I must have done it okay, because about a day or two later, offered a place. It was the first place to offer me a place, and it was honestly about 24 hours after, because we drove straight home the day of the audition. We went down the day before, stayed overnight, done the audition, and came home. Jen, bless her, was actually not very well. So yeah, I was so shocked that they sent the email that quickly. And I don't know, I think we were the start of May. I want to say the 7th of May. So I don't know if that's early or if that's late. I think that might be quite early. I think auditions can go on until kind of June, July time. But I might be wrong. So I was just really shocked when they sent it that quickly. And then E15 was next. Was E15 next? In fact, I've got it on my phone. LIPA was the 7th or the 8th of May. East 15 was the 20th of May, and Birmingham was the 24th of May. So we did these all within the space of a month. But heard really soon. The East 15 one, if I thought the LIPA vibes were good, the East 15 vibes were through the roof. Now, I have applied for East 15 before, and I've auditioned for East 15 before, and I was given a place on their foundation course. This was when I was looking to do undergraduates, and I was really young and I was just out of school, and I decided to go to college, which I do not regret. And yeah, I remember it being a bit cutthroat, so I was a little nervous. It was not like that. Again, there was a handful of us. There was probably about 7 or 8 of us this time. You did everything together. So you were all in the one room. There was two people leading the audition this time. One from the course that we'd applied for, which was the ME in acting, and one from the course that does stop motion. And we were really interested. I think he was there to kind of put the feelers out and have a little nosy and see if there was anyone he could snatch up. Because they did say that if we think you're suited to another course, we will offer you that. And then it's up to you. So both of them, lovely. And I mean lovely. Both of them, you could tell, just knew what they were doing. Yeah, they were just unbelievably straight to the point, but fair. And they had us kind of do our monologues kind of
and kind of to each of them. So the person that does the stop motion course was more involved with our contemporary pieces, and then when I was doing my Shakespeare piece, it was the guy who leads the acting course. And I quite like that because you got to see a little bit of a little glimpse into how they both work individually. And again, we were in front of each other the whole time. They actually got other people up sometimes if there was, if your monologue is directed to someone, they would have someone stand in, and they redirected you, but they redirected you quite slightly. It wasn't anything intense, it wasn't anything scary, it was just, I think, to see how you react to direction. I think Jen and I did really well in this audition. Everything just felt right. It just felt serendipitous. And again, we did this audition together on the same day. And yeah, I kind of really liked how they did it in front of everyone, but they gave you your own moment. And again, the joint kind of group part is all warm-ups and vocal exercises and getting to see how you work with each other. They're always looking to see if you work with each other. So as much as Jen and I done these auditions together, we were 100% aware that we were not going to stick to each other like glue. That's not who we are anyway. We're both quite sociable, but we were like, no, we need to show them that we can work with other people. I don't even think that they were aware that we knew each other, if I'm honest. But it was so much fun. And there was actually a girl who did the same Shakespeare monologue as me, and at first I was a bit like, oh, is this going to be competition? But we were just so supportive of each other. They had us work together on that one because we had the same monologue, so she was delivering hers to me and I was delivering mine to her. It was great. It really was great. And then we had a little question and answer session. We did this with LIPA as well. I forgot to say for LIPA, but we had a little sit down at the end, and if we had any questions we could ask. We done a tour of the campuses. Yeah, and again, I probably heard within a week, less than a week. It was probably a couple of days. It was insane how quickly. I thought I was expecting to wait weeks. And then lastly, the Birmingham audition. Now, the Birmingham audition was a bit different. I didn't do this one with Jen. So I was on my own, and I did meet a really lovely girl there though that I'm still in touch with, and she, funnily enough, is starting the Masters in Glasgow this year, so I'm hoping to catch her when she moves down. But yeah, the Birmingham one, I won't lie, I didn't get the best vibes from Birmingham, and I don't know if it was just because the first two were, for me, really good vibes. It just seemed a little bit more like you were a number. I am not a number. It just felt a little bit more, they were never rude, they were never mean. It just felt very much in, out, do your thing. You also had to do a song for Birmingham, which to me is a little like, I understand why, because you don't need to be able to sing, you just need to be able to act through song, and I get it, I do get it. It was all done individually. There was a group session in the morning, but that was quite dancey. So that was very, follow these steps and we'll put it to music. Walk from the back to the front in a row to these 8 counts and do freestyle dance. So I think you would be really daunting. It would be really daunting to go into this audition if that was the first one, or if you didn't have any musical theatre experience, or you didn't enjoy. I quite enjoy singing, and I don't have a lot of experience with dancing, but I'll give it a shot. And it was one of those auditions that I think people who are not in the industry think auditions are like, if that makes sense. People who don't actually know the industry would think an audition would be like that. It was a bit stricter. It was quite a big campus. We didn't do a tour of that campus. We just went from room to room. So we were split up into groups, and this group would do acting first, while this group did singing first, while this group did, what else was it? There was 3. I think it was actually your contemporary, your Shakespeare, and your song. So it was split into 3 groups. And for instance, my group, I think, did Shakespeare first, contemporary second, and then singing last. And then we just kind of rotated, if that makes sense. it really wasn't bad. It's just because I'm comparing it to the other two, wasn't my favourite. There was quite a lot of students there. You could see how the lecturers interacted with the students, and they were very... It was like school. It was like telling them off for talking in the corridors, and I know there has to be some discipline, but it was just very... I don't know. It didn't give me the best vibes, but it seemed like a great school. All the students who I did talk to loved it there. It seems like you would get very, very strong training, but I don't think you get any less from the other schools. And it just suited the other schools just suited my vibe a little bit more. So it's completely personal. Some people might go to Birmingham and prefer it. I found it a little bit tougher. And I think had I done a Birmingham audition when I was 17, leaving school, trying to audition for undergrads, I would have been so out of my depth. I would have felt so uncomfortable. I would have felt so nervous. And I think the only reason I didn't is because I'm older and I've done it a lot, and you just have to get on with it and be bold. I went between Beatrice from Much Ado. There's so much about this I can't remember. And I don't know if it's just because I was like nervous, or if I've blocked it out. I don't know.
I'm also interjecting here because I do remember the monologues. My main two were Beatrice from Much Ado and Amy from Breathing Corpses. And when I needed a backup, I would do Phoebe from As You Like It and Josie from Iron.
But yeah, glad I've picked E15. I feel like that is the correct choice for me. And I feel like it's the correct choice for Jen as well. Oh my goodness, Melissa. I don't want to get this all over my jeans. Were Jen to do this as a video, her answers would be quite different, because I don't think she loved... What have I just done? How can I not get that back in there? What do? Do I just put the lid on and hope for the best? Oh my goodness. Yeah, were Jen to do this, I think it would be a very different answer. I don't think she loved LIPA as much as I did, but she wouldn't mind me telling you that she was very not well at the LIPA audition interview. Like the night before, she was okay, and then... Oh! No! Oh my goodness, I'm making it worse. Okay, give me a sec. Yeah, she woke up loaded with a cold. And I mean like shivering, things like that, not just a stuffy nose. And she did so well considering. And so, yeah, I think that would maybe contribute to her answer being different. But we just both got such good vibes from E15 as well. And I think I was torn for a while. I was maybe tempted to do LIPA. And Jen was so dead set on E15. And I think it's because we both have a little bit different... She comes from a movement background. She used to dance, and she's interested in kind of somatic practices, and I play instruments and I sing, and I've come from a kind of musical theatre background, and you know, it's just different people, different preferences. Ultimately we've decided upon the same school. I can't even see if this is like blending in. Gosh, I got that all over my face there. That was horrendous. I'm gonna finish the rest of this and I'll come back to you.
I did in fact not come back to you. I think watching this back, there's a lot more detail I could go into. There's a lot more that I'm remembering, so I might do an individual video for each school that I was accepted into. So Birmingham, LIPA and E15. That's week 4 of 64 done. Doing these videos is really helping time go in quite quick. Another, 12 months? 11 months? Be back for video 5 next week. Have a good one.